The quiet streets, the closed stores, schools, and restaurants, the apartment complexes, all asleep. This was the situation that was presented to us all 1 year ago. But amidst the silence, a man opens the shutters to his window in the apartment, looks around at the scene, and clears his throat. This man begins to sing Lean on Me. And as this sound reverbs throughout the area, other windows like his open up and reveal the faces. These faces have despair and a lack of hope on them. But as they hear the music, these feelings are washed away. They all join in, singing, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. 1 year ago, all walks of life were separated and were challenged by the COVID-19 pandemic. While doctors, nurses, and our scientists work to heal our communities and individuals through the physical means, the universal language of music remains as the most important tool to tend to the social and mental pain we all experience. Music is the most important contributor to community hope, medical benefits, and as well as benefits for students and workers in this new situation. First, music brings community hope during this pandemic. So we can see from the opening story, this is taken from the Dallas apartment incident earlier in 2020, where they were inspired to sing together as a community because of similar actions made in Italy and over social media. Bonnie Curie, the lead of the Texas radio KLTY, reports this amazing moment of community really brought a rallying cry to the Lamar apartment in Dallas. As humans, we have an innate need for us to convey emotions and our intentions to each other. And Lee Coates, a music learning and teaching instructor at Griffith University, reports that this innate quality that we need to express our feelings, emphasized through this rallying cry, really gave these communities hope during this pandemic. Secondly, music is very important as it reinforces the benefits, especially medical benefits, that we have possibly lost during this pandemic and other stressful times. According to the New York Times, Andrew Rossetti, a therapist, talks about his story where he heals the PTSD of a 9/11 victim who was crushed by the rubble from the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. Now needing treatment for breast cancer, the woman in question uses a thermoplastic restrainer, which attaches to her chest. Because of her PTSD, she feels claustrophobic and stressed out with this procedure. But because Andrew Rossetti implemented music, he was able to ease her stress and ease her PTSD, allowing for her treatment to continue, be successful. Furthermore, Eddie Elkin, a harpist at the Rob Wood Johnson University in Hamilton, New Jersey, set up a music school at this hospital facility where during the pandemic she contributed to a calming atmosphere for patients and as well as the medical staff. There are also physical benefits of music. A 2013 study indicates that music influences the production of hormones, specifically immunoglobulin A, which benefits the immune system. Also in relation to music, calming and stress and relieving our stress is the properties and relationship that stress has with the cortisol levels in our body. Cortisol increases when we're stressed. And yes, this little bit of stress is good for boosting our immune system. The buildup and a long-lasting effect of this increase in cortisol is inflammation in the bloodstream. Therefore, since music lowers our stress, it lowers the level of cortisol that we have, and therefore lowers the chances of these negative effects from occurring. Not only does listening to music give us benefits, contributing to its purpose of such an important tool for our communities to utilize, writing and playing music also shares its benefits. Lisa Wong, a pediatrician and the president of the Harvard Medical Orchestra, talks about the resilience that is sought in the time of need during the pandemic by the staff, where PTSD is ridden in the workplace. She plays her violin along with other medical personnel to revive this resilience. John Masako writes that since the pandemic, his job as a music writer, he lost this vital outlet in his job where he's able to share his art with others. And again, with the pandemic, John Masako was able to transform his job where he's writing music and share it with the rest of the community, specifically the medical staff. He composes music and then he would present this music to the medical staff for them to play, and he'll give them critiques. Therefore, both him and the medical staff that learn music are able to benefit from each other and relieve the stress, as well as trying out new forms of art to express themselves. Final point that makes music the most important contributor to all these benefits in times of loss and despair is the effects it has on the worker and the schooler, especially in the new settings of online and virtual learning. Harvard University's article, Music and Health, reports that playing an instrument creates the increase of mastering tasks in language, memory, and attention. All great skills to have in jobs and as students. The LA Parent writes that playlists made by kids who are studying virtually at home allow them to have increments of time to set breaks, as well as increase their creativity as their brain activity is being modified by the music that they're listening to. Without these necessary traits that are enhanced by music, a job or learning virtually would be difficult. Me personally, as being a virtual student during the pandemic, I've turned to music as both a hobby and a reason to explore more. Music's dominating factor that gives communities hope and revives the benefits that we are losing out, specifically physical, mental, societal benefits, contributes to its most important role as an instrument for improvement and relief in these troubling times. During the pandemic, I learned the instrument, the alto recorder. And one piece that I picked up on this instrument was Vivaldi's second movement of his Winter Concerto, which I'll play a little bit of. Now, in this concerto, Vivaldi uses a sonnet to base his music. In this sonnet, and this specific part of the second movement, he talks about days of contempt and peace next to a warm fire as light rain drizzles outside. Through music, we find the most important tool, the most important way to access these days of peace and contempt, even the most troubling times. Thank you.